Infectious disease expert Dr. Amesh Adalja wants you to exercise caution before blending your favorite summer smoothie. In recent days, multiple packs of frozen strawberries and mixed fruit have been voluntarily recalled due to a potential hepatitis A contamination. Like these bags that you're seeing of frozen fruits that are sold at Whole Foods Market, Trader Joe's, Walmart, and Aldi, all recalled due to possible listeria contamination. So let's go ahead and bring in Dr. Adalja right now. Good morning, sir. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, my first question, Dr. Adalja, is when something says it's a voluntary recall, like, how do we know how serious it really is?
I think for all intents and purposes, when you hear something about a voluntary recall, you should assume it's an official recall. That means that there may be some evidence that a product might be involved in an outbreak, but it hasn't been officially proven yet. And it takes some time to prove that. So it's a precautionary step, but I think that consumers should think of it as the real thing because there's no way for them to know.
That's good to know. I never knew that definition before. So let's talk about listeria and hepatitis A. I mean, what exactly is hepatitis A?
Hepatitis A is a viral disease. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere around the world, and it's spread through the fecal-oral route, meaning someone's feces get into your food. This is something that we vaccinate children for routinely, but there are a lot of people who have not been vaccinated because that routine vaccination only started in 2006. And it causes an infection of your liver, which involves nausea, vomiting, and jaundice. And you are sick for several weeks when you get this. And it's something that we really try to control when there is an outbreak, and there have been efforts to vaccinate older adults who have not been vaccinated through the childhood immunization program.
Okay, so it sounds really disgusting, right? So, I mean, how did something like this happen?
So you have to remember that frozen fruit or whatever food that you're going to be eating gets handled by people. And some people may not be washing their hands and may be harboring hepatitis A virus or listeria virus or listeria bacteria on their hands, and it gets contaminated. Or it could be on the fields where they might be irrigating, they'll use water to irrigate the fruit before it's harvested, and that water that they're irrigating is contaminated by fecal matter. So there's a lot of different points where bacteria, viruses, parasites can get into your food supply. That's why we hear so much about recalls, because it's an easy process to be contaminated.
So I'm assuming, obviously, if you have frozen fruit right now, you should check your freezer and throw it out.
Right. There have been certain products that have been listed on the FDA's website and other health department websites. You should look and see, do you buy these things? Are they in your fridge? And then throw them out if they are. And then
maybe it's a crazy question. Does this affect fresh produce? Are you better buying fresh produce?
Well, in general, the less hands that have touched something, the less likely they are to be contaminated. So the closer that you're buying something to the actual picking or the harvesting, the better it is. Long supply chains have multiple avenues for contamination and things that are mixed. So, for example, listeria, they're saying is linked to frozen pineapple, but it's in multiple different fruit mixes where pineapple is included with other fruits. So the less handling something has, the less likely it is to be contaminated.
And real quickly, in case you think you might have it, this has already happened to you, what are the symptoms?
So it's going to be nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fevers, chills, jaundice for hepatitis A, and it occurs a couple of weeks or up to 6 weeks after you've been exposed. So it may have been some time. Listeria, most people do okay with it, but if you're a pregnant woman or immunocompromised, fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and sometimes even meningitis with listeria. So listeria is one of the most dangerous foodborne pathogens that exist.
I tell you, super insightful. Thank you, Dr. Adalja. Really appreciate it this morning.
Thanks.